Well, good morning, loved ones. I am wondering if you have ever had the experience and the thought that it seems to you that God is coordinating the experiences of your life to remind you something about Himself. Uh, I'm having that experience today, and it started with me walking out of my door this morning into a very chilly outside. This weather speaks to me. I love chilly falls. It is the removing, it's a promise that humidity is going away, at least in part, or at least in the oppressive way. And as I was driving to work this morning, an old hymn was circling around in my mind. It is the hymn, "This is my Father's world." And it was it was a worshipful moment. I love the weather, and so, this is my Father's world, in which though there are summers that are humid, there are falls that are chilly, and I love those. And following that thought, my mind grabbed a hold of verse 1 of Psalm 24, which is one of my favorite Psalms. It says, "The earth is the Lord, and everything in it, the world, and all who live in it." And so my mind is going from one place to another to another. And it just seems to me that God is speaking to me about His governance of the world, of His care of the world. And when I got into my office this morning, I was thumbing through my Bible, heading to the psalm that I was going to read today. And on my way there, I stopped and I go, yesterday was a psalm that spoke over and over and over and over about all the things in the world that God is in control of. Yesterday's psalm for me was Psalm 104. And let me just read the things that Psalm 104 affirms that God is in control of. The heavens, the waters, the clouds, the wind, the earth, the mountain, the valleys, the springs, the hills, the beasts of the fields, including the wild donkeys, the birds of the heavens, the grass, the livestock, the plants, food, wine, oil, bread, trees, including the cedars of Lebanon, the stork, the fir tree, wild goats, the rocks and rock badgers, the moon, the sun, the darkness, the night, all beasts of the field that creep around, including lions that roar for their prey, the sea, great and wide, that teem with living things, both small and great, Leviathan. And the psalmist, after kind of rehearsing all these different things that God is in control of, does, what you do. You remind yourself of how great God is. The psalmist at this point says in Psalm 104, "These all look to you." All these things look to God to give them food at the appropriate time. When you give it to them, they gather it up. When you open your hand, they are filled with good things. When you hide your face, they are dismayed. When you take away their breath, they die and return to the dust. When you send forth your spirit, they are created, and you renew the face of the ground. And then this cry comes out from the psalmist. "May the glory of the Lord endure forever. May the Lord rejoice in His work, who looks on the earth and it trembles, who touches the mountains and they smoke. I will sing to the Lord as long as I live. I will sing praise to my God while I have being. May my meditation be pleasing to Him, for I rejoice in the Lord. Bless the Lord, O my soul. Praise the Lord." And as I was thinking about coming out here, I said, I just want to talk about what God has been doing to me in the last day or so. Yesterday, He prepared me to be reminded of His greatness and the way He cares for all things by bringing Psalm 104 into my life and into my mind. And this morning, He jerked me from my, sleepiness when I went into the brisk cold, but He reminded me that He is the one who gives the seasons that we like. He is in control of the seasons, and each season has its own blessing. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof. And no matter how distressing life is, this remains true. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, and He cares for His own. And as He opens His hand, the world is cared for, even in its distress. The glory of the Lord fills the world. And so, loved ones, be encouraged this day as you walk around. You're surrounded by God's glory. You are surrounded by his mighty works. And I pray that God would open your eyes and that to behold the great and wonderful things about him that he's doing and his glory that is all around. That he'd open your ears as well, that you may hear what the Spirit has to say to you about them. God bless you. This is the day that the Lord has made. I pray you will rejoice and be glad in it. God bless.